And guys, we have got the breaking news. US hits the debt ceiling. What will happen now with this major change? And is it any different from government shutdown? Many economists are warning a recession with job cuts. Looks like this debt ceiling standoff may trigger a serious fallout for Americans, and well, a default would create a chaos in financial markets. And here is what it means for most of the Americans. First, frozen federal benefits. So the tens of millions of Americans household might not get certain federal benefits such as Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, federal aid related to nutrition, SNAP benefits, veterans, and housing benefits. So basically, this government functions such as national defense may be also affected if the salaries of active duty military personnel are frozen, for example. Second important thing, a recession with job cuts. So affected household would have less cash on hand to pump into US economy, and a recession would seem to be inevitable under these circumstances. And recession would be accompanied by thousands of lost jobs and higher unemployment. Third thing, higher borrowing costs, where investors generally view US Treasury bonds and US dollars as safe havens, but bondholders are confident in the US will give their money back with interest on time, and US financial system, that is the US Treasury debt, is risk-free. But if that's no longer the case, then ratings agencies would likely downgrade the US sterling credit rating on the Treasury bonds to compensate for the additional risk, and therefore the borrowing cost would raise for American consumers since rates on mortgages, credit cards, auto loans, and other type of consumer debt are linked to these movements in the US Treasury market, and therefore businesses would also pay higher interest rates on their loans. And fourth major change that will probably happen is extreme stock market volatility. And of course, that's assuming the businesses and consumers would get the credit. There might be also a severe financial crisis if the US government is unable to issue additional treasury bonds, and a default would send a shockwave through the global financial markets and would likely cause the credit markets worldwide to freeze up and stock markets to plunge. And here's the thing, you might be thinking, if the government is already in debt, then why don't we just let it default? But defaulting on the financial obligations could have some serious consequences, not just for the government but for the economy and everyday Americans as well. It could lead to a decrease in consumer spending, which would negatively impact the businesses and overall economy. Additionally, the government is unable to borrow more money, and it may have to cut back on those spending programs such as Social Security, Medicare, which would affect the well-being of many Americans, basically people on fixed income, low income, all those Social Security beneficiaries relying on these benefits. So this topic becomes very important for most of the Americans. So this one is a really major change happening in the US. What do you think about it? Do let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to check out our channel How To Guys. Be sure to subscribe for all the important updates. I will keep you up to date on all the important news that's hitting the news. And this is Kedar from How To Guys signing out.